to the Friday, July 14th episode of Morning Coffee and Chat. Hope everybody's had a good week so far. It's Friday. It's time to kick back, relax a little bit, and get ready for the weekend. Been a busy week for me. A lot of stuff's been going on. Had today off though, so can't really complain about it. Got to work the weekend though, a few hours here and there, so you know, just part of it. Oh, nobody's in here as of yet. I'm just kind of sitting here talking to well, microphone, I guess. Like I said, I hope everybody had a good week so far. Good morning, Gun Metal. How you doing, Gunny? Well, I hope. Been a heck of a week. I'm glad the weekend is here, even though I got to work the weekend. It's still gonna make for a good ending. I mean, tomorrow night is one of our beach bashes. There's a couple of good bands playing tomorrow night. Of course, everybody will be out and around the whole community. Actually, quite a few surrounding communities. So it's gonna be a good weekend. Good morning, Squatch. Good to see you, bud. Yeah, I guess you've returned. I just seen your post this morning. What was it? I don't know if I'm ready. Am I ready yet? Something like that. I didn't know what was going on. I apparently missed out on something this week. Fantastic. Now that I've clocked out at 7, headed to my domicile. There you go. No better way to start the day than getting off work. Or the weekend, for that matter. Ah, coffee tastes good this morning. Sorry, had a leg there, scrambled. Oh yeah. I knew that you had told us the other day when we were all together that you had just lost a very close friend, and I didn't hear or see anything else about it. I figured you were probably staying on the down low a little bit, keeping the person stuff personal. So I'm sorry you had to go through that, but it's never easy. Never easy. Just want to retire or quit. I don't usually work a lot of weekends. Well, let me rephrase that. I don't regularly choose to work a lot of weekends, but it just seems like whenever I request time off work, then I get punished um, and don't get any weekends off. So, matter of fact, normally when I request time off work, I get punished and don't work a lot, except on the weekends. Mondays and Tuesdays are supposed to be my regularly weekly days off, and normally when I request time off for something, they have me off all week long and just work me on the weekends. So, and people wonder why I'm looking for a new job. Good morning, Santee, you hunk of burning love, you. These so-called essential workers have gotten the shaft for the last couple of years, in my opinion. Yeah, yeah. His family's in town with no service. I was looking for my brother because he wasn't answering. So I'm the asset that shows up 5 minutes after the ambulance left. Oh, man. God, that's terrible. Any headway on the pizza kitchen place? No, no headway. We got a hold of him Wednesday morning when I was off, and he said he got held up at home, and he would be there within the next hour and a half, so I could come up and talk to him. He'd give us a call when he got there, and we never heard back from him. It's no wonder there's never any new people there. I mean, at this rate of hiring new folks and stuff and showing up for appointments and to sign paperwork, it's no wonder there's never any new people. I mean, this guy is honestly the epitome of too many irons in the fire. They have the gas station, they have the bar, they have a restaurant, and now they have a hotel. So, and it's just the two of them. So him and his wife, and always on the go. Used to be we'd see him every day, and now we're lucky if we catch him here in town once a week. Good morning, Tony. Hope you're doing good this morning. But yeah, as soon as I hear something about it, I'll definitely be all excited and happy and woo-hoo. There's a group of people who apply for a job and never show up just to keep unemployment coming. I've been left hanging on a job because of it. Well, the only bad thing about the place that I work now, besides the rudeness and the condescending remarks and screaming at employees in front of customers and the piss poor air, and there's no air circulation in that place. The main air exchange units don't work, so we have a little teeny tiny, very teeny tiny, like the smallest you can buy home air conditioner stuck in the wall at about the 6.5 foot level, and that's supposed to cool the whole restaurant, including the back line. So, oh, and we got two fans about that big around. One that sits on the floor to keep the ice machine running, and one there on the front line. So you've got a fan, like a tabletop fan, about 12 inches, that's supposed to cool a 35-foot front line where all the grills and fryers and roasters and everything else is at. So oh yeah, well, the place has been around for 30 years, so I'd like to know whose hand they're padding to keep open. I mean, you know, when you got bug zappers hanging in the prep room and fly strips hanging everywhere and stuff like that, I'd like to know whose hand is whose hand's getting insulated with money to not put this stuff on a report. But anyway, you know, enough with that bull malarkey. That's not what we're all here for. And, you know, whatever. Whatever. Good morning, Sarah. Good to see you, dear. Hope you're doing well this morning. Happy Friday to you too. Hope you and the kids are enjoying summer break. Only got about another month of it, and it's time to get back to the nitty-gritty again. Done a little rearranging in here day before yesterday. I had this huge executive desk here that had everything organized and stuff on it. Kind of made me feel a little boxed in, you know. So, you know, I took the whole shelving unit off. I'm running the great big monitor again up here so I can actually see things. The computers actually, or the little laptops actually sitting over here to the side. Of course, I still got my percolator sitting right here making me fresh coffee. So, we're good. I came to visit my granny and regroup. No more drinking in the morning. My daddy always told me if you drink before noon, it means you got a problem. I always told my dad I never had a problem drinking before noon. Then when I got older, I realized, man, if I'm turned by 1 p.m., it's not a very good feeling on the rest of the day. It's over 2 weeks till the Squirrel Woods open. Yes, sir. Going dark and listen till I get might not. Chat, these Texas state troopers don't play around. I don't blame you. I don't blame you one bit. Michigan didn't used to play around. I mean, they set a law in place a long time ago about texting and driving and being on your phone when you're in your car and stuff like that. Now I see cops doing it. It was just a few days ago, me and the wife were going to the grocery store, and we drove up past the cop shop, and there's a cop sitting right there waiting to pull out, and he's on his phone. Drinking is relative. I used to work nights, so 7 a.m. drink was nothing. That's when I started doing it. I'd actually go to the bar when they opened at 6 a.m. and I would start off with breakfast, and then I would start drinking about 7 or so, and keep it going till 9 or 10, then go home. Getting ready for Carlton Park, Hastings this weekend. Very cool. Very cool, Justin. Good morning, bud. I try not to drink with relatives. I try not to drink with anyone. For a third shifter, 7 a.m. is 5 p.m. Yeah. Speaking of drinking, I only managed to have my drunken nervous breakdown last night. I feel better now. Good. Good. I'm glad, Squatch. You know, losing a friend is never easy. You know, I've lost a couple, but sadly enough, I didn't even know about it until long after. And I had my mourning period and moved on. I mean, it's not always easy, but do you live in a depressive state, or do you live like they remember you living and always enjoyed living that way with you? So, I mean, I find that drunks tend to annoy the hell out of me. I guess my sister gets buried tomorrow. Still no one from the family has contacted me. I'll never get used to that. I'll never get used to that. No matter how hard I try, no matter how hard I try to understand. I guess coming up in a family that was like really super close and stays in contact, I guess it made me unique. That's why I think I'm so committed to family and stuff now is, you know, that made me really, really unique. A unique way of thinking, always having that very close-knit, tight family. I mean, even still today, you know, my sister's 3.5 hours away, and, you know, my mom and dad's 10 hours away, and we still talk regularly. Felt so broken, couldn't handle it. Drown my sorrows, which wasn't the best way to handle it. It was the only way I knew how to do it. Yeah, I have well, he was talking to Tony. I started to say, yeah, I have a sister. 4 years younger than me. Still looks like she's in her 30s. Lucky ass. Pretty bad with cancer, so death was a blessing. There are times when that's the case, sadly enough. Good morning, Masha. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well this morning. We haven't got any we haven't got any um, smoke warnings for the last couple of days. Somebody go up there and pee on the fires. Oh, and just a heads up too, guys. And you know, go figure. It was Tony's statement right there that made me think about it for the very first time. And I don't know what it is because I went back over the live stream from the other day, and you know, I didn't see anything that fit into their restrictions. But for the very first time the other day, we had a live stream that got partial monetization due to language that was not what's the way it was phrased, due to language that was not advertiser friendly. If that makes any sense. I mean, you know, they say don't have anything dirty in the title or on the thumbnail. Um, don't say any colorful words within the first 7 seconds of your videos or your live streams. I went back through, I watched about 25 minutes of the live stream, the last live stream. And I didn't see anything there that was colorful within those restrictive periods. Um, no, I'm not blaming you. I'm saying what you said made me think of that. I didn't even see anything from you that was colorful in the first 7 minutes. So, or first 7 seconds. I didn't see anything colorful from you for the first 15 minutes. So, what they're talking about, I have no clue. I really honestly don't. I don't care. It's not like I'm making any money from this thing anyway. You know, they've made it where the information that they require for me to get paid is impossible for me to do on the devices that I have. So, it's getting somewhat better depending which way the wind is. So light 2 cigars then. My family is unreasonably huge, but we keep to ourselves mostly. Colorful words, red, yellow, pink. I got a YouTube notice because of a link that may be a scam in my description field. Wow. Never heard of that one before. Well, maybe we can get lucky and Elon Musk will buy the thing. It's wishful thinking there, bud. Elon Musk, I think, is going to be the new Disney. I think he's buying everything. So, they wrote, "We will block it." I said, "I'll just delete it." What in the name? What link could you put in your description that might be a scam? I mean, you have your contact information, you have your merch information, you have your Patreon stuff. And for those of you that don't know, Santee does have a Patreon page. No, he does not do his videos naked. I looked. It's not there. I figured maybe he'd done some Old West try-on hauls or something from Sheen or something like that. It's not there. I looked. I figured maybe he came on and done the videos just wearing his hat and a smile, but it's not there. It was really kind of a disappointment. Maybe, I thought maybe that, or he wore, he done like a little merch try-on thing, wore like the little leggings with his big smiley face on the butt or something like that, and like little Arizona Ghost Rider boxer shorts or something. I used music from non-copyright and linked their webpage. Apparently, they deemed it to be a scam, but the link, their YouTube channel, was fine. Yeah, they're getting YouTube struck major scale video. They're making it. harder and harder to put up videos. Uh, they want to continuously hit you for music, but yet they don't have any decent music in their music library. So you like, what are you supposed to do? You know, I just watched a review an hour ago. A girl from Russia was actually reviewing Michael Jackson's Thriller. Now, you know, you guys know, those of you that have been around for a while, that thing came out in like 1986. It was the first mini movie music video to have the large number of choreography and dancing in the history of music. And the copyright rules state that you cannot use this unless you are doing a review or doing it for educational reasons, or you adjust the settings, the size, the sound, the display, something. This girl, every 5 seconds she had to put something over the video. Copyright, copyright, copyright. Because YouTube wanted to block her review otherwise. So yeah, reaction videos are supposed to be covered under fair use, but hers weren't. You know, I guess the whatever you want to call it, the reign of Jackson has lived on after his death. You know, the people that own the rights to his music and stuff like that aren't even letting you do free use reviews and stuff without threatening some kind of action. So I wanted to appeal after a well-worded email 8 or 10 years ago. Got another one for a clip that had watermark for INSP on it. Wow. They said copyright holder was not INSP, but INSP gave it to me to use. And you know, it's really funny because that's happened to me with a lot of music. If you look in the credits to a video, it has, of course, the performer, the writers, the company that owns it, stuff like that. And whether it's a professional band or a non-professional band. And I've downloaded music. Normally what I will do is I will download a video and I will extract the sound from the video, and the channels that I get the video off of that are listed as copyright free are released by the performer or the company owner or the writer or something like that, and it says it right there in the description of the song. They've hit me with many copyrights saying this person or this song is owned by this, or this song blah 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 blah. I'm like, well, why is the person listing it as copyright free? Why are you letting this person list it as copyright free and then nailing people for using it? Exactly, and that's exactly what it is, Santi. YouTube is actually getting scammed by fake copyright holders claiming royalties for songs that they don't really have royalties to. Hey, Derek, good to see you, bud. Sorry, I was in the middle of a ramble right there, so I didn't say hi to you when you popped up. Any songs from 1960 before can be played. I went live a week ago to show people my city. I went to my local record store and they had music playing in the background, and I got a copyright claim. And you know that's actually happened to me, Derek. When I've been to a car show or a function of some kind or another where there's been music playing in the background, they wanna hit it. And some of these songs that have been playing have been, 1940s, 1950s, and they want to say, oh, that's copyrighted material. I don't think so there, bud. But you're the YouTube gods, and I'm just a peon, single-celled amoeba down here trying to survive, so whatever. Oh, I think it does too, bud. I think it does too. I mean, there is such a thing as fair use, and YouTube, they tell you that you're safe using Creative Commons stuff. You're safe using copyright-free stuff. It gets pretty bad when a person can upload a video of a song and not get in trouble for it. But then somebody else comes along and extracts the song and uses it, and they get, a copyright claim or something like that. It's like, wait a second. Why did you allow this to be uploaded under this category that you tell us is safe to use, but then copyright claim somebody on it? Is this entrapment? Seems like it to me. That's like our old buddy Steven Sheets. He goes out and sings karaoke. Now, karaoke isn't covered under the copyright thing at all. When you revamp the song and you're singing it yourself, it's not covered. But yet he lost his old channel because of copyright claims of him going out and singing karaoke. Tunes for a second, and they reminded me. Too many hoops. Too many hoops you got to jump through. That's why, I've got comments and remarks about finding new music, and because I use a lot of the same songs over and over and over again. It's because they're safe. Oh, here's another one. I love this one. When you use a song 20 or 25 times and have no issues with it at all, on the 26th time you use it, you get a copyright claim on it. But they don't copyright claim all the other videos that song is in. get this. Last week, um, last week I put up a video. I had an entire song playing at the beginning of the video. At the end of the video, I played a 35-second snippet of that song and got copyright claimed on the snippet, but didn't get copyright claimed for the entire 3-minute song playing at the front of the video. And it wasn't even by the band that performed it, the company that owned it, or anything. This was a totally different individual, an out-of-country individual, because it resembled their song. But, you know. So when I start to add karaoke to my channel, that will mean I will get copyright claim or strike. That is not correct. You cannot perform another's songs without their consent, legally speaking. But bar bands get by with live stuff because it ain't worth the cost of stopping them. I've been copyright claimed on bar bands. You know, I filmed some clips of my mother-in-law's birthday earlier this year when we were up at the bar. And, yeah, every time I tried to upload it, they wanted to copyright claim these songs. And it's like, okay, right at the beginning, and you know, karaoke and live music, but at the beginning of a karaoke video, if you've ever sang karaoke before, there's a thing right at the bottom of the page on the monitor that says that this song has been approved by the original copyright owners and does not fall under whatever, but yet they want to claim it. Now, YouTube is blaming creators for lost revenue. That's because YouTube is oversaturated. You sit and think about it. At any given time, there are over 3 billion people on YouTube. At any given time. And during the you know, the 2019, 2020, early 2021 season era, there was even more. There was upwards of 5 billion people on YouTube. And they're still losing money because they've become too oversaturated. I'll never play music on mine, won't chance it. That isn't the bar band. That is the video. YouTube needs to get rid of the hate channels. Yes, and there are a lot of them out there. I run across them. I run across at least one every day. But they say they can't get rid of the hate channels because that goes against the freedom of speech thing. But they can limit the kind of language you use, which violates the freedom of speech thing. I don't frickin' know. When actually it's copyright system taking their revenue by punishing the very people that make YouTube screwing themselves. Yeah. It's insane that they block content all the time from auditors. Yep. Hey, Freedom. Good to see you, love. Hope you're doing well. They get rid of any channel they choose to. I'm good, thanks. Nothing to do with free speech. Well, it's supposed to. It's supposed to have everything to do with free speech. It just amazes me. Always a good day when you get up. Yep. The way I always look at it, the the good Lord gives me a heck of a start, just allowing me to wake up. And what I do with the rest of the day is totally up to me. You go to someone's channel and it's, hey, you think these folks will stick around? Nope. It's amazing what people will stick around for. It's absolutely amazing what people will stick around for. People go to channels just to breed more discontent, more hatred. They live for it. They live for it. It amazes me how many channels will get on a subject, and then you'll have 19 people in the chat just feeding it, throwing wood on the fire, and then it goes off on a tangent. I mean, what do you do? We're not in kindergarten. Show where TOS for speech is protected. People watch channels by choice. YouTube partner to censor truth. They've been losing revenue since due to the censorship. Unsubscribe to so many channels. I have to. So many more important things to worry with karma will catch up to them. I stay far away from drama, BS, and hate channels. I'm the same way, Derek. I'm the same way. I don't have time for that. I come on here to have fun. I come on here to inform. I come on here to educate. I come on here to laugh. And I don't have time for all that negative BS, all the discontent, all the hatred, all the bad mouthing. My time is too precious. For 7 years, I had my family and my channel. I had my blood family, my married family. I had my family here. And now I've thrown the work into the mix, and that just takes time away from both. And my time is too precious. I don't have time to waste on bull malarkey. Just searching for truth and a few channels just to enjoy. True that. True that. Well, that last drink was awful cold. Glub, 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 glub. Glub, 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 glub. Glub, 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 glub. Coffee was delish, quite honestly, until that drink right there was. In the next few days, I'll be sharing my experience, strength, and hope, and how I overcame adversity, my struggles, and how I rose from the ashes live. I hope I'm off work to see that live. That'll be interesting. I mean, to me, there's nothing any cooler than, listening to individuals' personal stories of becoming a phoenix. Feeling like you're crashing and burning and there's no end in sight, and then all of a sudden you sprout brand new from the ashes and the rubble and take flight. Besides, GMO mosquitoes giving malaria, geoengineering to block the sun seems like bigger problems than most. Now, I personally like those spy satellite videos, you guys. Come on. Spy satellites that, I mean, literally can zoom in from orbit and follow your eyes on a page. I mean, come on. Our show is simply about freedom of speech and 2A, Second Amendment. Whoop, whoop. I believe you should be able to say whatever you want as long as you willingly accept the beating you take for saying stupid. Yeah. Yeah. But, you know, if there's one thing that almost 55 years has taught me, you know, and I know in the combined collective, I'm still a pup. I'm still a pup. But when I was in school, I took a big interest in history and government and, you know, the Constitution and our Bill of Rights and all that kind of stuff. You know, I've got a copy of the Constitution and the Bill of Rights hanging right up here on the wall. And when we come to the point where, you know, you have the freedom to peaceably assemble, yes, you do, as long as the local government will grant you the paperwork and the approval to peaceably assemble. You know, you have the right to free speech. Yes, you do. Unless you violate someone's civil rights, you don't hate speak, and God forbid you violate somebody, you verbally violate somebody's civil rights that is of a different race or creed, because then it's no longer a local law violation. It becomes hate speaking and becomes a federal thing. So, I mean, you know, problem is no one gets the beating to learn anymore. All about safe spaces. Yeah. Oh, wait, I just saw the words flying car, and I think I know what they're talking about. It is Derek. How about that? Did you guys see Federal Aviation Administration just approved the first flying car? I actually saw the video this morning, but I haven't watched it yet. I got to check it out. I got to see, you know, I got to see what the hoo-ha is, because I remember being 25, 26 years old, and they had a flying car they were testing at that time. It was right there on the cover of Popular Mechanics. I went to the barber shop with my dad, and I saw it on Popular Mechanics, and he kind of got mad at me because when it was my turn to get a haircut, I was still sitting there reading the article. But they had tested it, flown it. It worked great. You didn't need a pilot's license for it. You didn't need anything. And they put a big stop to that real quick. So this thing's been sitting in mothballs for 20 years. You know, I'd like to see if they've adapted the style, if it's the same company, things like that. So, first one is in Australia, I believe. People can't drive on the road, and now you're going to let them fly. Yeah. Kids don't get beatings, read whoopings anymore, no longer fear the consequences of their actions. Exactly. Exactly. You know, back in the 80s and early 90s, when I was growing up, the 70s, 80s, when I was growing up, it was perfectly acceptable when your kid's done something wrong to whoop them. to put them over the bed and to use a belt on their little fannies. Since then, they've made the parents the outlaws if you even say you're going to do that. And you too, Masha. Have a good day, honey. They put kids on a pedestal and made the parents the outlaw. If you even say, you know, I swear to God, if you do that one more time, I'm gonna whoop you. Then all of a sudden the kid can go to their teacher and say, my dad threatened to whoop me. And, you know, you've got the police and you've got CPS and you've got all your neighbors and stuff, you know, especially if you live in a small town or a village. What the hell? Oh, that spoon fell. I started to say, what the hell was that? What was it clang? But, yeah, I mean, dude, it's going to be like the Fifth Element stupid thing yapping at you and then gets destroyed and you get blamed for it. If you can even operate it, all the self-driving crap won't be allowed to drive anyway. True. People are too afraid of CPS to whoop kids' behinds. I hated whooping my kids. Tony, man, I didn't realize, you know, every dad has used this phrase, this hurts me more than it does you. And every kid has been, trade me spaces and let me swing that piece of leather. We'll see. But it wasn't until I turned 16 years old that I had done something wrong. I don't even remember what it was, but my dad tanned my fanny. And I went up to my room. I thought about what I had done. I thought about what my dad said to me. And I came downstairs looking for my dad. My mom told me my dad was out in the garage. And I went out to the garage and my dad was out there crying because he had to put that belt on my butt. And that gave me a whole new view at, a whole new outlook at what it's actually like. And I mean, that completely changed my whole existence. You know, my dad was this big, tough, ex-Army specialist, missile expert, and, you know, to catch my dad crying, and then to see my dad, you know, I seen my dad cry for the first time at my grandfather's funeral, and, you know, that just completely flipped me. But to see my dad crying because he had to whip me, had to correct me, you know, that just completely changed my whole outlook on life. Let me see here. I was beat as a kid, never wanted to abuse mine. To enjoy it, something probably wrong. It shouldn't be enjoyed. No, you're right. It was my responsibility to grow these kids into responsible adults. Yeah, you're right. My dad never whooped me. Every parent's responsibility to keep their kids in check. No one else's. My stepdad did once. Mom sure as hell filled in for us. My mom never did because I was so much bigger than my mom. My mom could sit and swing all day long and it's like brushing flies off your booty. My mom was a smacker. She never backhanded us. She was a smacker. She'd smack you across the face, especially if you said something wrong. I actually hunted a belt that was very light vinyl, sounded like a gunshot on butt impact, but would not cause pain. kids would whine, would wait like they were. Doggone it, that little heart thing right there is right in the middle of the bloody page, or right in the middle of that. Would, hold on, I'm going to put this in here just to lift that statement up where I could see it. Okay, the kids would wail like they were actually shot. Okay. I'm going to get back out there and do some investigations. History videos soon, some magnet fishing now. Have some weeks off work. Well, I was actually going to go down to the beach this morning and break out the metal detector early this morning. But I was up till after midnight last night, and there was no early this morning for me. I've been up like 2 hours. So, yeah. Go figure. Yeah, I'm hoping we get back out there to do some more investigations and stuff real soon. I miss having Mark and Tony out there with me and going and doing some of these different locations. But with the work schedule conflicts, it's just rough. Just rough. My mom likes weapons, metal fly swatters, wire coat hangers, steak knives. I will cleave you if you do that one more time. I beat my legs with that bell. It didn't even sting. Good. It does. Geez, sandal, maybe a spoon. But metal? Now, when we were little, my mom was real big on the fly swatter thing, but she always used the plastic swatter part. It would catch you right on the back of your thighs. That was always her favorite thing. And of course, I've told you guys about my grandma, and when you did something wrong in front of her, that's a whole different generational thing right there. You know, Grandma, we had this great big huge weeping willow tree in our backyard. For those of you that haven't heard the story, you probably know where this is going, especially if you're in my age bracket and had a grandma that ever corrected you. She would give us a pair of big, and I don't have them right here handy, but a big pair of scissors. And she would make you go out there and snip a big old piece of willow off the, what we called a willow gad. And then you had to strip all the leaves off of it, and you had to swing it. And if that thing didn't whistle, you threw it down and you snipped another one, and you found one that actually whistled when you swung it. And you took it to Grandma, and the race was on. You know, even in her 80s, my grandma would sit and laugh at times. She would say, I remember the time when you were about 5 years old that I made 2 big apple pies. And I put those things on the stovetop to cool. And you got a spoon out and dipped right into the center of one of those apple pies. After I told you to save them for dinner and not ruin your appetite. You dipped right in the middle. You had like 4 big bites out of one of those apple pies. She said, I got a willow switch, and I remember chasing you down the alley and halfway around the block. She said, and you were running like a cartoon character. Your butt and your feet were almost a foot out in front of your head and your upper body. And that willow switch was just missing your legs every time. And all you kept saying all the way down the alley and all the way around the block was, but I love you, apple pie nanny. 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 I couldn't even get love you. It was Lulu. I love you, apple pie nanny. I love you, apple pie nanny. And she said she was back there laughing so hard, silently, that she had tears running down her eyes. She said that was one of her fondest memories of me growing up. Um, Every time I did things that the girls might have been out of hand was if they mouthed off and disrespected their mom. Oh God, that was a big thing with my dad. Jeez, and criminy. That would earn a smack in the mouth. My mom was an opportunist. Whatever weapon was handy. Hey, don't do that. Come back up here. Well-deserved girls get so bad with their mouths. The one whooping I got from my stepdad was with a switch. My husband got the switch. I got belt or hands. Also, I deserved every lash on that whooping. Parents don't generally do it for shits and giggles. You're right, they don't. They don't. I've never in my life met a parent who enjoyed correcting their child. And kids today, you can't even talk to them the way our parents talk to us. And I don't understand what happened to kids in the last two generations. You know, if you even talk to a child the way our parents talk to us a lot of times, they break down, depression sets in, they withdraw, they and then they go to the school, they tell their teachers, they tell their friends, the friends call the police come out and say, you can't say stuff like that these days. Well, I mean, it's like, how do you, uh, how do you, how do you look at it? How do you look at a child? Let's use this example. How do you look at a child that has a small group of chores that they do on a daily basis, and they know they're supposed to do these three things, three or four, or five or six things every single day. It only takes like 15 minutes to do, but you look at that child every day, every single day. Don't forget, you have to do this, and this. And then they throw a shit fit about it, and they go and do it, and they're throwing things, and they're slamming things. Now you know you're not supposed to do that. And then they get done, and they throw something down on the floor, and they leave the room, or they go out and they get something to eat, and you just clean the kitchen up, and they have stuff on the floor and have stuff on the counters and things like that every single day. But you're not allowed to raise your voice at them. You have to stay calm, and you have to talk to them like this, or you're wrong. You can't raise your voice. I don't know how many times my dad looked at me and said, I brought you into this world, so help me God, I will take you out of it. I will take you out of it. I will throw you in the back of the truck. I will take you somewhere out in the middle of BFE, and I will drop you off. You will starve to death before you get home. I remember my dad used to pull us behind the truck when we were little on the sled in the wintertime. And, you know, we were sitting there scooting along, and, you know, one time our sled broke. And we're holding onto the handle, being drugged down the road. We hit a bump or a pothole or something, and the sled popped, and the handles popped off and jerked us right off the sled. And we said something to our dad when he finally stopped, and my dad looked at my mom and said, I should have drug him another 5 miles. Maybe then they would have been thankful for the 20 or 30 feet that they went before we realized the sled came apart. Grandkids if they need it. Kids being raised like, and now they're committing suicide higher rates, which is way worse. Yeah, now the bar is considering hiring with the grandkids. I told my mom when I was a kid, I'm getting out on my own, and she packed my stuff up, opened the door, and said, "Bye, have a nice life." She called my bluff. Not mine. Mine would always start to cry. "Why is your life so bad that you want to leave?" I don't know. Yeah, because that's normal. Show no emotion, be a robot. Yep, that's exactly what it is. But in my child-rearing defense, we were told hundreds of times that our kids were the best behaved kids people had ever saw. I was told the same thing about my boys. My boys are all in their 30s now. I have whooped my kids like crazy. And I've never heard a complaint about my sons. My sons all have great moral character. They will give their lives for a total stranger. And you will never, ever hear them down talk or anything somebody else. They're always there to defend people. Mom and dad waiting if they misbehave. Tony Lee and Katie. Hope you guys are doing good. Hope you're feeling better, Tony. Aren't staying. I'm very unwell today. Just wanted to say I tried friend requesting on Facebook, but couldn't, so sent a message and commented on post, so you'll find me. Hope you and everyone okay. I will look, bud. I worked last night. For some reason, they had me work last night, so I didn't even look at my Facebook. But I will look to see if your message is there, and if possible, I'll use that name link on Messenger to friend request you, bud. That way we can talk on a regular basis, we can video chat, whatever the case may be. Sorry that you're not feeling good, though. This soon after having, I know it's been a few weeks, but this soon after having a stroke, even a mini stroke, is not good. And I really, really hope that as the day goes on, I know it's, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1. I know it's just after 2 o'clock p.m. where you're at, but I really, really hope that as your afternoon and stuff goes on, that you get to feeling better, man. Oop. That just skipped a lot of, my mom was Scottish, Native American. No nonsense. However, she had a good heart. My mom and dad still do. Sadly enough, when here a few years ago, I separated. The house was hers. I tried to move back in with mom and dad down in Tennessee, and my dad and I are so much alike now. We can't live together. We can't live together. We we butt heads. Um, we're both too territorial. We're both too set in our ways, and I'm very proud to say that I'm just like my dad. I lose my cool a little too easy sometimes, but I'm proud to say I'm just like my daddy. My kids are their daddy's kids. Hey Ty, good morning, bud. Hope you're doing well. Honestly, broken bullshit. Thank you. Thank you, mate. You too, my friend. You too. Later, you could visit the White House and get some coke. It's just magic hearing there. I heard that. I heard that. I heard that, yeah, there's some magic cabinetry or something at the White House where it just appears. Sorry, I was late coming in this morning. Oh, you're fine, bud. Don't worry about it. So, in case that nobody caught the community tab this morning, Sunday we have a very, very special video coming out. It's been requested a few times here on the channel. And I've always said, I can't find enough, I can't find enough, I can't find enough. I finally found enough. So Sunday, right about 9 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, there will be a video release on Bonnie and Clyde with actual photos and film from the aftermath of the ambush they were caught in, of their funerals, what happened to the car before the car got in the museum. It was actually put on display outside the police station in Louisiana where they were ambushed at. People were trying to steal things off the car. They were that infamous. They were that popular. So be waiting for that. There's some really, really cool stuff in that video. I love those moments with my girls when they say something and I'm like, Jesus, that is me. That weirds me out when my chitlins do it, but they're not grown. So catch me off guard. It really caught me by surprise. Can't wait for this video, by the way, Drew. I got an impersonation job in September. Doing what, Ty? An impersonation job doing what? That's the question. Especially number 3, who was far more like her mom, or so I thought. You know, my wife tells me all the time that, you know, that's my daughter, because she is just as hot-headed and mouthy and obstinate as I am. So, and she was 7 years old when I met her. So, I mean, I consider myself lucky. Everyone else enjoying this heat wave. We're actually not having a heat wave. Luckily. Well, let me see here real quick, because that storm the other night was supposed to be bringing a high front through. So let me see here. We click on the weather thing. Today high of 87. Tomorrow high of 77. Sunday high of 82. Monday high of 76. Tuesday high of 80. Wednesday high of 80. Thursday high of 82. Yep, definitely not a heat wave. Pretty average run-of-the-mill temperatures here. Here in the middle of summer. Well, hello, Christine. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. September 16th is Calamity Jane Days in Princeton, Missouri. They asked me to come down and impersonate Wild Bill for the day. Very cool. Very cool. Hope you can find a wig to wear before then. Bill had long hair. He had very long, luscious hair that he was very proud of. So you could find a wig. Now see, if you would have known about this when you was here last week, or earlier this week, I could have taken you to a costume store that's open 365 days a year, that sells all that stuff. It's like a Celebration Halloween or something like that, and they have all that nice stuff. I'm a little crap sorry. I haven't been on. I've been hurt, my neck and back. I'm sorry, Christine. I hope it's feeling better. I got one. I keep it brushed. Very good. Very good. The weather folks have been screaming drought for months. Then we get 4.5 inches of rain last week. We got quite a bit the other night. I mean, for such a short storm, you guys believe 5 tornadoes right there around Chicago. One of them not very far from O'Hare Airport. I mean, to the point where they grounded flights and made everyone move to the lower levels because they thought this tornado was going to hit O'Hare. And I mean, these things were moving in straight easterly patterns at 30 miles an hour, just wreaking devastation behind them. I have never in my entire life heard of tornadoes, especially big tornadoes, in the Chicago area. I was watching videos of them, and it blew me away that those things were that big and rolling right to Chicago. Ocean climate. BS, even though planet has cooled a couple degrees over the last several decades. Well, yeah, but they say you can't have global warming until right after you have a global ice age. So they've been saying that for years. Scientists have been saying we can't have global warming until we have a global cooling. So we'll see what happens. Supposedly it's real hair, looks and feels real, but I got it for free. Very cool. Very cool. I look forward to photographs of you in the full outfit, um, so I can do a side-by-side comparison. Of course, you know, you're a skinny little rail, so then again, so was Bill. Won't be good. I have found out my osteoporosis has advanced in my neck. That's bulging disc and bone on bone. Should have been F5's wiped out the hellhole off the map. Damn, Tony. If it does, things you should investigate. Sounds like weather modification. They haven't. I'd love to see a tornado. We don't normally have earthquakes here, but we have had 3 in 2 weeks. Wow. Damn. Osteoarthritis, osteoporosis. Never good. Never good. Tornadoes are fun to see, but oftentimes you can't see much. You know, when I lived in Texas, I played around with, you know, I wasn't a storm chaser, but you know, I done a lot of photography, and rain wrapped tornadoes. Um, Rain wrapped tornadoes to me are the most deadly because you do not see the full force of or the full power of the tornado or how big it actually is or something being rain wrapped. Um, Now when it's an open tail and it drops down from the cloud and you see it, you know, starting to whip, and then you see the debris start to kick up from the ground, and within a couple of minutes, I mean, it's a full funnel, and I mean, it's just throwing debris like crazy. You know, those are very, very easy to photograph, to watch, um, but it's finding the right time of the day to see that. You know, that's the hard part. Sorry, degenerative disc disease, lower back, no fun. Be okay. It's just pain in my neck, literally. Literally. I love videos of water spouts. They're pretty cool to watch. I started the Bulldog Chicago into Lake Michigan to form New Illinois Wetlands Coalition years ago. Here, the tornado almost always rain wrapped. And see, that's what I was actually expecting to see out of these, because they were saying they were so powerful that they were going to move right through Chicago and under the lake. And I was waiting to see some huge F2, F3 waterspouts forming over Lake Michigan. And they dissipated. I mean, just 1 minute they're there and they're, you know, in Elgin, Illinois and stuff like that, and they're just tearing things up. Then all of a sudden, gone. So, East Coast, only see tornadoes and blue moon waterspouts, even less. F scale is horseshit. I can agree with that. The Fujita scale is outdated. I remember, God, what was it, 20 years ago, 25 years ago, that tornado hit in Oklahoma. And it was the biggest tornado on record, another quarter size bigger than the biggest F5 ever recorded. But they still classified it as F5. one meteorologist was even quoted saying, you know, if there was such a thing as an F6, this would be an F6. You know, it just amazed me that they, one, is a whirlwind, five, will eat anything in its path, six, leaves nothing, it's gone. Not very far north of Wichita Falls, Texas, in Oklahoma, is what used to be a town. It is now a highway passing through a field with concrete foundations spattered all over both sides of the road. I mean, it completely wiped out and through everything for miles and miles and miles. It measures damage, so a massive tornado that don't hit towns is way underrated. 8 more days. Yes, sir. 8 more days, and Tyler and the family are heading for Colorado. They are going to South Park City, Colorado. Gets pretty bad. I mean, you know, when you go on vacation with the family and you take all your filming equipment with you, like I did here a couple weeks ago. Yes, and if they get hit while open, no one can tell. They always look at storm damage. What's sad, monolithic domes could withstand pretty much everything, but not typical builds. You shot Kenny, you bastard. I have personally seen a piece of straw drove through 4-inch oak limb. I've seen pictures of it. I've seen pictures of straw, I mean, something as delicate as a piece of straw drove through a phone pole. Well, if you guys will excuse me for a second, I gotta make a potty run. Y'all just talk real nice amongst yourselves for a minute. I'll be right back, or this is gonna get really messy. So, we'll be back in a second. And we're back. I can't get over that idea you gave me. I think it'll be good. I saw a Ford drove through a phone pole. I've seen great big huge super dualies picked up and sat down in the top of trees. But at the same time, and I guess this is why they say that a tornado is actually the finger of God. Um, I have seen devastation like crazy. I have seen vehicles ripped in half. I have seen houses lifted off their foundation and thrown 200 yards away. But I've also read stories of a baby laying in its crib. The roof is ripped off the house. The baby is picked up out of its crib and gently laid almost a half a mile away with its blanket still wrapped around it. Perfectly fine. Unscathed, not a mark on it. So this is why a lot of people, a lot of meteorologists, a lot of storm enthusiasts refer to a tornado as the finger of God, because it actually decides what it destroys and what lives. It's absolutely fascinating. Went grocery shopping Sunday, $420 later. Wow. It would be nice to have $420 just to go shopping. We go and get what we can when we can. Looks like I made just enough coffee. That was the last of it. I've seen, what was that? During a tornado, I've seen a really nice house turn into a greenhouse. This particular was driving a very drunk stepdad. What I have right now is just too hot to do work in a metal building. With your time or not, no change in it. Exactly. Makes sense. Don't blame you. No, God, Jesus. Late September, we'll be thinking about going. Nice number 420. Bubba News, good morning. Good morning. Good to see you. Looks like God's finger moving along the earth. It does. Wasn't nice when the cashier said it. I'm sure. When they're sitting there and they're scanning this stuff, and it gets higher and higher and hits, 250, 300, 325, 350, your eyes just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger when you look over at the stuff that still needs scanned. You're like, our government decided to raise our electricity bills by 30% here statewide, so we can't afford many luxuries here at the moment. But sadly enough, that's going on everywhere. It's not just Australia. That's going on everywhere. My wife and I decided to go to mostly steak instead of ground beef. Yeah, we were at the store yesterday to grab spaghetti, and they had a bunch of steaks in the manager's special. 3-4 steaks for $7, $10, $11. Not like really nice griller steaks. They do that every day though. Every morning they go in, they throw the stuff they made the day before in the manager's special bin, and it's usually half of what it normally costs. And we looked at it, and we said, you know, it's funny, even with both of us working just to save the house and, you know, keep things going, we still can't afford to buy a steak. What time is it here? It is 9:36 a.m. here. 9:36 a.m. Raise electricity bill for what reason? That's some horse mummery. Electric bills going up to $20 a month. And you went grocery shopping, your total was $420. Can't help but laugh. They just approved lab-grown meat for stores and restaurants. No thank you. Lab-grown meat. You know, it's really kind of funny. I just done a video here a week or so ago on cloning. I'm thinking maybe they should start cloning steaks. I think they should start, you know, they want to clone stuff, they need to clone things that we need to eat. Don't worry about the extinct species that they've talked about, the woolly mammoths and the saber-toothed cats and things like that. Let's start cloning cows. Let's start cloning hogs. Let's start cloning chickens. And, you know, let's do something about these food prices. Almost got to take out payday loan for ramen anymore. True that. True that. But you know, we have dollar stores, so I can get 6 packs of ramen for like $1. So I'm not going to complain. $1.50 now. $1.50 now. But you know, still 6 packs of ramens for $1.50. That's, you know, that's a quarter a pack. I'm not going to complain about that. I could live on miso shrimp ramen. I learned a long while ago that steak is a great replacement for roast. More flavor for less meat. They're looking into 3D printing as well. Oh yay, 3D printing food. Yummy. They've been cloning animals since the 90s. Started with Dolly the sheep. Yeah. Buy a cow if the cost is too much. I'm thinking so too. Oh wait, I missed what Ken said. Where you at, Ken? There you are. Lab-grown meat is made from cancer cells. Pretty sure that's how the zombie apocalypse started. Hi, Ken. Good to see you. I'm not liking that. Don't make my meat from cancer cells. To the reason why CDC put out the zombie apocalypse stuff a few years ago before taking it down. Yeah, I know, that's kind of funny, isn't it? You can buy it at 150, 200, 250, grow a little sucker into a T-bone and hamburger for a year. That's true. If you're lucky, buy 2 cows. Let's make potatoes and clone cows. God probably won't mind if we do his job for him, right? I'm sure God don't like it when we play God. I'm pretty sure. I just have this feeling deep down in my soul that he really kind of gets upset when a man starts playing God. They're doing it with fish fillets currently 3D printing fish. A cow here to buy is $800 to $1,000. What are they going to do for printing materials? Lead cows into an lead cows into an industrial grinder. Pretty sure it's going to be that gets the states fully intend to raise cows at the cabin. That just sounds messed up. Get rid of food stamps. Maybe prices will go down. Hey, fishing. Good to see you, bud. Hope you're doing well. Maybe bacon too. Don't know. Don't want to know. Not real or natural. Don't want it. Pigs. Pictures pigs. You get a couple of deep freezers split on a full cow with a friend or two, cheapest way. Yeah, exactly. You know, we've thought about that, but we can't find anybody to go in with us. We've thought very serious about buying like a whole, you know, our local meat market's got some really, really good packages where you split a whole cow, you split a half a hog, and you each get like 4 or 5 whole chickens. You know, a couple $1,000. But you split it 2 or 3 or 4 ways, you still got a lot of meat there. I buy a quarter cow, half hog every couple months. Nice. I remember when I was young, my mom and dad went in a couple times on a whole cow and a whole hog, and our freezer was packed. I mean, it was full. You couldn't have fit a box of fish sticks in that freezer. Just the feed cost for the animals is huge these days. Oh, I know. It's unbelievable what feed for these animals. Let alone going out and buying seed if you're a farmer to grow the feed. It's ridiculous. I don't get it. Okay, gotta head out. Hope everyone has a great day, Drew. I'll talk to you before we head to Colorado. Sounds like a plan, man. You know I'm always around. Everything is ridiculous. Price nowadays. Go fish and catch food. I wish I had fishing poles. I wish I had the money for a fishing license. I'd love to go fishing. I got 2 lakes right here in town, and well, ain't doing me much good. And I see guys down there all the time dragging fish out these lakes like crazy. Here in Canada, if you have Native American friends, they can shoot and eat just about anything on Chrome land for free. Just saying. Yeah. Yep. Most definitely. Only works if you're not allergic. Big fish. Yeah, that's true. Plant the grassland with some clover and alfalfa. I got about an acre of grass. Yeah, you know, Tony made a good comment earlier about just go out and buy a cow. That's pretty good if you live out in the country, but if you don't, not only are, you know, an in-town lot too small to feed a cow, but you also have town ordinances in place. No hooved animals. You know, you can have chickens, but then your neighbors complain because of the noise. Can't have hogs, can't have cows, can't have horses, can't have donkeys, can't have sheep. Even though sheep and goats are not hooved animals, they actually have toes. Same as a pig, but they fall under that hoof thing. So basically, you are stuck shopping at our stores that we give the tax breaks to, so you pay more in taxes to cover what they're getting broke on. drought and cows, no bueno. True that. See all the stipulations to live, can't afford this or that, can't get tickets if you don't. So that shit all the time. Be sure to get land with no restrictions. Hairy grandma hay. Supposed to be good and easy to grow. How much is horse meat? I don't know. I've never bought horse meat. I am the wrong person to ask. Many people are looking. That's why it's tough. Very true. Very true. I get free eggs from friends that live in the country every now and then. They taste way better than store-bought eggs, which raises the question, what do we need food store? What do they feed store-bought chickens? Well, it's the pasteurization process. It's the pasteurization process. You know, Jan and Jay from JJ's Adventures are talking. They got their chickens. They're talking about bringing me eggs when they in August. Our eggs are relatively cheap now, but you're right. Homegrown eggs always taste better than store-bought eggs. Where things are going, roadkill will be considered fast food next year. Yep. Eggs are $1.09 at Walmart. A dozen, yeah. Yep. Still, we can buy 2.5 dozen eggs at the store uptown here for right around $5. $4.99, something like that. You know, here quite a few months ago, those 2.5 dozen flats, you know, they were 15, $16. Then all of a sudden one day they dropped to $7.99. And then like a month and a half later, they were down to $5, $4.99. So yeah, apparently there's no problem with eggs anymore. Now it's everything else. Switching to natural food is poison. So look up shellac. They cover fruit in it, cockroach excrement. Yep, you're right. I don't do the what do they call that? The hydroponic or whatever weird hydroponic. I don't do any of that stuff. You know, number one, I'm not going to pay the extra price for it because we can't afford to. And number two, I don't need a hydroponic tomato when that beefsteak tomato is the same size and half the price. It just don't make sense to me. Fried roach crap and protein. Yeah. Well, I mean, think about it. Here several years ago, when people were complaining about McDonald's, you know, McDonald's, along with many of your fast food places, use earthabate. You know, earthabate is dehydrated, ground up earthworms. And they used it as a protein source and a filler in their meat. That's why a lot of your restaurants actually started advertising 100% pure ground beef. because there were so many places that they found out were using earthabate as a filler. Hydroponic tomatoes are tasteless. Very true. Very true. No thank you. If I wanted to eat that, I would find it and eat it. It's on all fruit, grew organic or not. It is covered in shellac. Yummy. Yummy. Every time I make a taco, I'm going to have a cockroach poop taco. Every time I have a salad, I'm going to have a cockroach poop salad. Are these croutons? Did somebody put raisins in my salad? Nope, that's shellac. Probably ate a ton of lead paint as a kid. Probably. I know we lived in some pretty old houses, and I'm sure that old country house we moved into when I was 12 was nothing but lead paint. And, well, frankly, we remodeled the house, but some of the rooms never got painted, which means for 19 years we lived in that house with lead paint on the walls and the ceilings. We're animals, so we do like to eat animals. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. They got rid of lead paint, stopped blocking RDS signals and radiation. You see, that is my dilemma. Do I put a cow on the land or a garden? Well, you got enough land there, Tony. I think you could probably have a couple cows and a garden. I mean, that's just me. Plants are what my food eats. Been doing DoorDash food deliveries lately. The McDonald's orders are some of the worst smelling compared to Chinese or Indian food. McDonald's chicken products stink so bad. And you know, it's really sad because about the only thing that I eat from McDonald's anymore, when we can afford it, is chicken McNuggets. Chicken McNuggets, and I'll eat the shit out of those things. Give me some barbecue sauce and some ranch dressing, and I'll mix them together. And I will make me a spicy ranch dip, and I will wipe out 30 McNuggets like it's nothing. Animal fat should be the main staple of our diet, not grains. Very true. I have about 3.5 acres. I love McDonald's, fries, and a Big Mac. Now see, every once in a while, here lately, every once in a great while, if a Big Mac's on sale, 2 for $5, 2 for $6, something like that, I'll get Big Macs. But the last Big Macs I had were so salty and bland, I couldn't eat them. I couldn't eat it. I wound up throwing a third of the Big Mac away. I kept thinking, well, maybe it's just that bite. Well, maybe it's just that part of the sandwich. And it was so salty and bland and disgusting that I couldn't eat it. Like red meat and stuff. We used to eat the crap out of those nuggets. But chicken is made from recycled diapers. Yeah, every once in a while when I'm in a cheap mood, which is all the time, because I can't afford anything else, I'll get some McChickens. So that is the best tasting recycled baby poop I've ever had in my life. I mean, quite honestly, with the price of chicken in the stores being one of the cheaper meats out there, I can make my own bloody McChickens at home. Why in the world would I I mean, every once in a while when we don't want to cook, yeah, we'll get off the dollar menu or something, or the reduced menu, and I'll get some McChickens. But oh well. McDonald's fries are great if hot. Yep, but Culver's are hotter. Oh yeah, oh yeah. The fries are only good when they're hot. Don't ever try to reheat and the next day in the microwave. Oh, I know, they're terrible. Oh my God. Yeah, I know. Um, I'm guilty of eating McDonald's too, but it's mostly sugar. Like even the bun has sugar. I do like a McChicken. The item they're advertising this month is the jalapeno extra cheddar bacon quarter pounder. Oh, I know it. I know it. That's right up my alley. I always put jalapenos and barbecue sauce on a hamburger. So that actually sounds good. If they'd make a Big Mac with quarter pound burgers instead of airbrushing a burger stain on it. Yeah, exactly, Tony. Exactly. The the Big Macs have never changed in size, but the meat patties have got smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, and the price has gone up and up and up. Yeah, it does sound good. Just let me know, Drew. I'll call in your McDonald's order. Well, if there wasn't just a little bit of distance between us, my friend, I would I would call in a DoorDash order and have you deliver it. But I don't think my tip that I could, adequately without bankrupting myself give you to cover your gas to make that DoorDash delivery. Not to mention, crossing over the Ambassador Bridge, driving through Detroit, coming 2.5, almost 3 hours southwest of Detroit to deliver my food to me just to turn around and drive back empty. I don't think it would be cost effective that way. Waffle House has the best double cheeseburgers ever. I've never had a burger at Waffle House. Central Indiana up there. Well, we're 15 minutes north of Indiana here in Michigan. So, and we have two dispensaries right here in town. So, yeah, there you go. Yeah, you could write it off as medical issues. Booyah. Wendy's burgers. I do like some Wendy's, that's for sure. Sadly enough, haven't been to a Wendy's in like 3 years. So, yeah. Double cheeseburger with sauteed onions are fantastic. Oh, I know, I love sauteed onions on a burger. What I'll do a lot of times is I'll saute um, jalapenos and onions together um, in a nice creamery butter and get them all nice and soft, and then put those on the burger and throw my barbecue sauce and a little bit of mayonnaise on there, and booyah. Booyah. That's a booger. Used to drive to Detroit Metro many a time when based there. I try to keep the food warm, no guarantee though, but I'll turn on the seat warmer. And I've had them at 6 different Waffle Houses. White Castle's still a local crave every now and then. You guys, oh my God, I love White Castle. That's my favorite place to eat. That's my favorite place to eat. About 6 months ago, the wife took me, what was it? No, it was April, beginning of April. She found out from one of the people at the casino that there was a White Castle only about 40 miles away from here. And took me down and got me a crave case of White Castles because she knew it had been years since I had a White Castle. And that was just an amazing day. I ate White Castles for 2 days. Loved it. Loved it. Love me some White Castles. White Castle is 150-mile drive from me. Love their horseradish mustard. We have a horseradish mayonnaise in the fridge that I use once in a while. And I love it. For a steak on my birthday. Aw, that was nice of her. That was nice of her. Nothing like having a steak on your birthday that you didn't have to cook. But all right, guys and gals, it is that time. It is time for me to be like a fat baby and head out. Time for me to be like a tree and leave. Time for me to be like a bunch of birds and get the flock out of here. So, trying to arrange something good tonight. Don't know. We'll have to wait and see what happens. I'm working on it though. Depends on what the family's got going on. We'll just have to wait and see. Happy birthday, Cancer birthday. Do do do. Happy belated birthday, Tony. Fat baby, not until you get the quarter pounder of cheese. Tell me about it. I gotta get to work too. Cheers, have a great day. You too, Ken. Take care of yourself. But you guys all take care. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. God bless you. God love you. I do. We'll catch you all later. Have a good day.